Welcome back to the Jacked Up Fantasy Football League Week 14 preview show. Along my color commentator, Zach Vranisevic, Archon Tiger, defending champion. I'm the commissioner. It's good to be back. Kuma, how you doing?
I feel like we're like little vanilla this week. No graphics, no music, but hey, we don't have time.
Yeah, we don't have much time. Let's talk about the Browns and Steelers before we get to the fantasy football.
You know what this is?
Wasn't that the terrible towel that Randy sent you?
It used to be yellow until we wiped our asses with it this week.
Hey Randy, here's a towel that if you want I can send you one. So let's get right into the recap of Week 13 and talk about the playmakers and eliminator. It's a good way to segue into the. For those of you who don't know, the eliminators is a big Steelers fan, and he predicted he's going to kick the shit out of the playmakers. He also offered to send me a terrible towel for the game last Thursday. As it turns out, it was a bad week for Randy, man.
Oh man, he loses the game and he gets killed by you.
And
his team looks like shit. The Roethlisberger gets sacked 8 times.
5 straight losses to the Steelers.
I don't think Mike Tomlin's the guy. How do you
You lose to Oakland at home, to Cleveland, Kansas City.
Wow. Hang your heads in shame.
Enough's enough.
You're worse than we are. That's worse of the worst.
Exactly.
All right, go ahead.
That was the Browns Super Bowl right there. So congratulations to all the Browns fans out there. The playmakers win 6 out of 7 games. If we had one more week in the season, I was still eliminated last week. If we had one more week in the season, man.
I'll give you an A for effort.
Okay.
You never gave up, and
we play hard. We play hard.
That's right.
I told my guys in the locker room after the game, I'm like, keep your heads up. I'm proud of you guys. Game of the week, Cocoa Puffs comes back. Everyone was rooting against the Cocoa Puffs. They come back and beat the worst team in the league by 2 points. And they're very much alive in the playoffs.
That's what good teams do. He finds a way to win, and he did, and he's back in it. And he's got, is it you next this week?
He's got me.
Oh, not a easy task.
Not at all. I'm the hottest team in the league. Upset of the week. I hate to bring this up, Kuman. Upset of the week. The Serve Destroyers, a 32-point dog, beat the Archon Tigers by 20 points. 19 to be exact.
I have nothing to say, but congratulations.
But you actually were worried about this game.
I was worried about it. I almost picked him, but I'm kind of like you now. I don't pick against myself.
You can't.
But when you have Drew Brees, I mean, anything's possible.
Well, he won by 19. 2 great quarterbacks. His came to play, 35 points. Your guy, Manning, 15. Yeah. That was the difference.
That was the big difference.
20 points.
Yeah.
2 straight wins for the Serve Destroyers. TNT.
Way to wake up now, Jake.
Yeah, a little too late. TNT against the Bulldogs comes back. Larry Fitzgerald has a big game on Sunday Night Football and comes back and beats the Bulldogs by 12 points.
That's been Tony's stronghold, is his receivers this year. He's got Meacham now, too.
That was my upset special. That was wrong, but that was close. That was close. Give credit to TNT, though. High Flyers. This is, I think, the scariest team still left. 135, and by 40 points, he blows out the best team in the league.
And I said that they would do that. I think I was on video saying they would blow him out.
I can't believe.
He is a dangerous man. I don't know who's pulling the strings behind that team.
I don't think it's Michael. Well, I don't think Michael's capable of being that good of a fantasy football
team. If it is Michael, he's our comeback coach of the year, I think.
But congratulations to the High Flyers. And once again, we apologize for the, I think you saw the retraction message about the playoffs. I hope you make the playoffs, Michael. I'm rooting for you. I would hate to have, you come back and say I jinxed you. But you know what? The employee that sent out the unauthorized email has been suspended. Shit happens. Hey, man. Whatever.
You can't run a league and keep tabs on every person.
No one's perfect. So let's talk about the playoff picture. There's 5 teams left for 4 spots. So one guy is going to be the odd man out this week, man. T-Mac is at 9-4. Everyone else is 8-5. There's so many little tiebreakers, and again, it's the points scored.
This is what it's all about here. I mean, this is what makes it fun.
It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting, and only really you and T-Mac play each other. So I think T-Mac can afford to lose.
I hope so. I hope he feels that way too. But I think the big difference. Well, go ahead into the games you wanted to talk about. I'll talk about that.
But so
prime timers fighting for that.
Number one spot. Number 1 spot. Well, let's talk about that game. Bulldogs and Prime Timers. This is the Who Cares game of the week. I like the Bulldogs. You?
I like the Bulldogs. Next.
We spent 10 seconds on that game, which is about 9 seconds too long. TNT against the Serve Destroyers. Upset special. I like the Serve Destroyers to knock TNT out of the playoffs. Jake, my brother, Jake the Snake, I want you to beat TNT because
so do I.
I don't want TNT in the playoffs. If I'm not in the playoffs, I don't want TNT in the playoffs.
Vegas has this at 24 points.
Doesn't matter. He was a 32-point dog against you last week.
I understand, but I think a squirrel finds a nut once in a while, and Jake found one last week. I think TNT wins this game. He's got the better matchups. He's got a hot Robert Meacham. He's got Fitzgerald, and he's got my boy Pierre Thomas.
Drew Brees will have a big game against the Falcons secondary.
Well, I hope you're right. I'm not rooting against you, but I'm looking at strictly numbers, and I have TNT winning this game.
Okay.
I hope I'm wrong.
Okay. Playmakers against the Cocoa Puffs. We just met 2 weeks ago, and I won by 11 points. This is a must-win for the Cocoa Puffs. They're struggling a little bit. You know, they struggle against the worst team in the league and the Prime Timers. You know, of course, I like myself in this game. I always pick myself, but you know, I can knock a team out of the playoffs. You guys, I think everyone's going to be rooting for me in this game.
I'm rooting for you. I have you winning this game, and I think the difference will be Rodgers playing in Chicago with that weather this week.
Yep. Cold,
I don't
windy.
think you get to roll the ball in that kind of weather. They proved that in the Cleveland game Thursday night.
They're going to run the ball, hopefully, with Ryan Grant.
And he's got Jones-Drew. We're going to see him tomorrow. I'm rooting against him. I'll have his T-shirt on, but I'm rooting against him. How much sense does that make?
That's true. Yeah. I didn't realize that. Yeah. But, Archon Tigers against T-Mac Attack. This is by far the game of the week. Two guys that are very much alive in the playoffs. Archon is at 8-5. T-Mac is at 9-4. And they'll be sitting next to each other at the game tomorrow, the Dolphins-Jaguars game.
Definitely. And I don't know how I'm favored by 9 points. The odds makers have me winning by 9.
Well, I think because he hasn't changed the starting quarterback.
Well, I don't think it's going to make a difference here. I was analyzing that. He's got Garrard going up against Miami tomorrow, or he's got Warner against San Fran. Both tough defenses. I don't know who he's going to go with.
Well, he probably won't see this broadcast.
Right.
On his way for the game.
But I think that will be the difference in this game.
Who would you play? If you were the T-Mac Attack, would you play Kurt Warner against San Francisco?
I think you have to go with Warner just for the pure fact that Michael Sims Walker is out.
Yeah.
Isn't he doubtful for tomorrow?
I think he's doubtful.
Him and John Henderson. So I think I go with Warner, but we'll see what happens. I don't think you can go wrong either way there.
Well, I like you to beat the T-Mac Attack. I think T-Mac Attack, you know, he started off 5-0, but the second half of the season, he just has not been playing good fantasy football.
Right.
And I think he's going to back his way into playoffs, kind of like the way I did last year.
Do you think he'll make any noise?
No.
He's going to be one and done.
One and done.
Oh, wow.
One and done. He may even not win a division, which doesn't really matter, but I think he's going to finish 9-5. He loses this game to you, and whoever he plays, I think he's one and done. Sorry, T-Mac.
I think this game will be a lot closer than we think, but that's okay. I got myself winning, obviously.
Of course.
And that's with Pittsburgh scoring 2 points. I mean, I hope that does not haunt me. But go ahead. Next game.
But I think that Peyton Manning is going to score a lot of points for you. I think that's going to be a high-scoring game between the Colts and the Broncos. That's going to be the difference.
And I hope your boy Marino goes off, too, in that game.
Why?
Because I want you to win.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Although Coco's got Brandon Marshall, too. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game. So, I mean, real quick, what do you think about me benching LT in favor of Marino?
I think you have to go with the kid. He's been showing that he's the real deal.
He's got the hot hand.
But they have Buckhalter there too, sharing carries with him. But I like Marino. I think this is gonna be his breakout game
on turf.
Right. He's gonna have something to prove against the Colts.
Okay. Last but not least, High Flyers and Eliminators. A surprising team against one of the most disappointing teams in the Eliminators. Who do you like?
I think you got to go with the High Flyers here. He's got Chris Johnson going against St. Louis. And he picked up Kenny Britt this week, who's also going against St. Louis.
Wow.
This kid's been tough all year, Kenny Britt. He made the winning catch against Arizona, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Great catch.
Yeah.
And he's got the Jets defense going against Josh Freeman, who throws a lot of picks. That's going to be a big difference there.
Well, I think my predictions for the playoffs, and we got 10 seconds. Everyone makes the playoffs of the 5 teams except for TNT.
And we agree, except for I have TNT making it.
Instead of?
Coco.
Okay. That's all the time we have. Good luck to everyone tomorrow except for TNT and the Cocoa Puffs.
Ooh.